Hey, I'm JR.
And I'm Mike from the 18 Over Par with Mike and JR podcast.
Welcome to Season 5 of the pod, where we'll continue exploring the sights, stories, and sounds of golf on the prairies, where you'll find some of the most golf courses per capita of anywhere in the world. And beer. Lots of beer.
That's right, JR. More beer.
It's the 18 Over Par podcast with Mike and JR.
You suck, you jackass.
Welcome to 18 Over Par with Mike and JR, proudly presented by Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. I'm JR, he's Mike, and today we're joined by one of the top sports journalists in the country, Ken Wiebe. He's the Jets beat writer for the Winnipeg Free Press, and he's also a golf enthusiast who regularly tours around the province to get in his swings. We're back at Niagara again, Mike.
Yeah, what a place.
What a place, and we're in the wine room. So if you recall, we were in the wine room with Terry James when they just redid the wine room. I don't even think there were wines in the cabinets here for the members. But Terry's got his own.
There was some.
There?
Yeah, we almost didn't make it out of the wine room.
Oh, right. No, there was a gentleman that came in and was talking about wines, and more wines. I do remember getting it pleasantly interrupted from the Terry James episode.
He was entertaining.
He sure was entertaining, but Terry's got one. Nick Nucci, I noticed. I played with Nick Nucci, I believe it was a couple weeks ago in the Swings for Soldiers tournament. Jason Nickel, who we had on earlier this season, episode 2 of season 5. He holds a tournament called Swings for Soldiers. It's at Niagara. So I was in it this year. I was playing in it, and Nick Nucci, I was partnered up with. He swings cross-handed.
Wow.
Have you ever seen that, Ken?
I have not seen.
Okay.
No, that's not true. I maybe have seen it, but I don't recall who it was.
It was wild to see.
Yes.
And he would bomb it out there.
Yeah. There was
And
a
everything
guy,
was
I think, on the
cross-handed.
tour or the PGA Americas. I think he was doing cross-handed or something, maybe.
Oh, well,
I think I saw it on TV once.
I got a good segue here. He
Okay.
may not be cross-handed, but sometimes he's cross-eyed, and that's Bryce Matlashewski. He is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. I saw him at St. Charles recently. He was in a jolly mood, except he couldn't talk. He had to leave.
He had played golf?
He had played, yes. His league was playing.
Good.
And he was down there. But you can check him out. Just go to our social medias, click on our bio, and then you'll find our link tree. And he's the first link in that link tree. We're also going to have some links to a wonderful article that just showed up in the Winnipeg Free Press from Mr. Ken Wiebe, or Wiebe as he's known in the States. We'll have that link there so you can go and check it out. He did a fantastic job talking about St. Charles. We saw you down at St. Charles when they had a nice little media day there to showcase the Donald Ross 9 restoration as well as the Alistair McKenzie restoration, and to talk a little bit about the new West 9, which is to be named soon.
Great hospitality. Ken, is that customary? That's an average red carpet they roll out at all the clubs for the media, or?
I would say that was above and beyond special there.
Oh, yes.
Very impressive overall.
It was.
They did a great job of hosting, and both nines looking very good. And fortunately, I had the opportunity to talk with Riley about the 9 in transit. Pumped to play it when it opens. I mean, it looks fantastic, and the design, getting a little bit of the insight on what was behind some of the design on a few of the holes was pretty enlightening.
Have you ever gone through something like that before?
No, sir.
I heard that's just like a thing, and I couldn't imagine. I was talking with some of the St. Charles members there. Like, have you gone and like walked this yet, or heard anything about it? Like, nope. Like, really, you have an opportunity here, to see how a golf course is built and created, and you're not taking advantage of it.
No, that was behind the ropes access there. That was a specialty event, I think. So, but I mean, very cool. I mean, both Jim Urbina and Riley exude passion for the sport, fellas, as you saw. But really interesting just to hear those guys talk about it, and then you sort of you have it in front of you, but there's no grass, so I mean you have to use your imagination a bit. But I love getting the insight on the Thompson, influence on
Right.
the course, which was super, super fun. And, knowing what the West used to look like versus what it's going to look like now. And it's not often where you hear guys say, well, I mean, the West has the potential to be the nicest of the 3 nines once it's grown in and matured. And, when you're talking about Donald Ross and Alistair McKenzie, pretty high-end company for Riley and his crew to be mentioned with before you even get grass in the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're certainly shaping it. It's hopefully going to be open 2026, middle of 2026 there, maybe June, maybe July.
Yep.
We'll see what happens there. But again, the hospitality, we've been so blessed to come to the places like St. Charles, Breezy Bend, Niagara, really all over the province to do these shows. And tonight, no different. We got David in the house. We got Anna, Brittany, Mac. Thanks again for setting this up and hosting us tonight. And for yourself, Ken. Thanks for coming down and chatting some golf. I know we've been trying to get this going for a while here. I sat with you on a plane and we talked nothing but golf for like 2 hours.
I know. I was into the point where you guys were thinking I was ducking you.
No.
So
Yeah,
it was definitely time to get in, get this in. I got to tell you, we were at Granite Hills last week. Sean, not sure if you saw the photo or not, but he was rocking the 18 over par lid.
very
did not
nice.
for
see
the
that.
round,
Okay.
and
Shout
he
out to
had the
Sean.
ball marker, I think.
Okay.
Jeez.
So,
I'm surprised he was
impressive
playing.
stuff. I got him out of retirement again, and boys, I have a big breaking news announcement here for folks who listened to Sean's episode. Feeling better about golf than he has in a long, long
Good.
time after our the front nine. He didn't enjoy quite as much, but the back nine was better. He was back locked in, and just the joy and enthusiasm was back a little bit. So this is a big development on the 18 over par podcast.
Yeah. Breaking news. Thank you.
Hey, I'm here
That's
to
good
help.
to hear.
It's a quiet time in the Jets off season, so I'm here to help with the breaking news.
Will there be an article about that in the next week's Free Press?
It may be in the Kenny and Rennie newsletter, but I don't think it's going to quite make the Free Press yet.
And subscribe. We'll have a link to that in our link tree, the Kenny and Rennie newsletter, so you can see it and catch up on it there.
That's it. First episode to be determined, as in first edition to be TBD. But we should have one.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah, that would be nice. You mentioned before we came on here, you had the chance to play Niagara recently, so good shape. I feel like a lot of the courses, and you would know probably better than us or most people in the province doing your Golf Manitoba tour of golf courses, really good shape this year.
It's been fantastic. Obviously we had a little bit of a hot stretch that some places needed water, and fortunately there has been some rain the last while here. But yeah, I had a chance to play Niagara on Sunday with Rob Spears and his son Grayson, and just tremendous. They got number 5 green is back open, so playing back to the way Stanley had intended as well. So it's looking great, rolling really well, and fairways really lush, and greens rolling nicely. So I mean, it's always a treat to play this course, and yeah, it was nice to get it in before we had a chance to talk here. I'm going to say that noticed the tee box was open, and I was kind of wondering we could have delayed a little bit here, but another time.
Yeah. Right. My clubs are in my car. So
Smart man.
No pressure on the timing.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we'll make this one snappy here, Ken. Don't drag this on like Sean Reynolds said you would. But anyways, we'll get into it. How did you get into the game of golf?
Yeah, I growing up in Altona, into all sports basically. It wasn't one of those people swinging out of the womb. Like, it probably started just before my teenage years, but fortunate enough to grow up at a place 10 minutes from a 9-hole golf course, Oakview Golf Club. I actually had a chance to play it this morning. We have an annual tradition, myself and a classmate, Damian Tryon. We play every summer with our high school volleyball and basketball coach, Terry Brown, and he's just out there striping it. Excellent human being. He gets up in the morning, plays 9 holes, drives back home, bikes back to work, works the afternoon, bikes home.
wow.
Absolute legend.
Even in the winter?
Not in the winter. No, not in the winter. But Terry's a great man. Played for U of W, national team setter at one time as well. So we're fortunate to be around him in our high school years. And just loved golf as a kid. It was more of a casual sport. I was more baseball, hockey were my primary sports. But played fair amount through my teenage years and took a bit of a break, and then came back to it a little bit later on and got the passion back for it. But still remember playing my first tournament. It was at Minnewasta before Minnewasta had the 18 holes. It was only a 9-hole course. Won my flight or my age group, but that's only because I was the only player in that age group. So
That helps.
You didn't have to add that part, but we appreciate it.
I do. Hey, it's all about full disclosure and transparency, fellas. I won a hat at the event, but my mom, who's no longer with us, kept a scrapbook. You could tell by my face in the scrapbook that although I was a winner of the flight of my age group, there were no smiles that day. Even though I enjoyed the day, but I did not play my best. Let's put it that way. But tournament golf is a different animal, as you guys know, and actually gearing up for my third appearance in the Tamarack coming up here as well, up at Clear Lake, and one of the few tournaments that has 2 rounds of stroke play to flight you, and then you go into the match play. So guaranteed 4 rounds. If you lose your first match, you go to the consolation side. You could play up to 6 rounds. So it's course in great shape. Been up twice this year. Played in the Grey Owl also, and then had a weekend of Buddy's 50th. So courses. Speaking of Stanley Thompson's courses, another one of the great gems of the rural part of Manitoba, and can't wait for the event. It's fabulous. A lot of family tradition for a lot of folks around the Westman region, and have grown to really enjoy it. And it's one of those things, boys. If you don't register on like the first day or two, you got no chance of getting in.
Right.
One year, I think it was 4 years ago, I was with my buddy Darren Ritchie, and I said, he goes, "Oh yeah, Tamarack's coming up." I go, "Oh, I'll just sign up." And he started laughing. He's like, "Yeah, you needed to sign up in March." So last few years I've been, hammering down and one of the first people to enter. So fortunate enough to get in for the 3rd time, and can't wait to get up there. So
Nice. And that's a Saturday to Saturday event?
It's a full Saturday to Saturday event. We usually go up practice rounds Thursday and Friday. So, could be up to 8 rounds in a 10 or 11 day stretch. So fabulous. It's a feat of endurance, but it's a lot of fun and lots of laughs, and a really good group of folks up there. So
Yeah. JR, we'll have to put that on our bucket list.
Don't we always say it every year? We're like, oh, we're gonna do the Tamarack.
Yeah,
this
I
year.
thought maybe
You really
this
should.
year.
I thought this could have been the year.
Yeah, but next year. Next year. Send us an email.
I'll send you. I'm going to put it in your daytime.
Yeah,
on the way
please
out
do.
here.
Please do.
Well, I remember originally because Mike, you have your in-laws. They got a spot up there.
Sure. Yep.
And it was my first time playing. Mike sent me his caddy notes. I know you probably don't need the caddy notes because you've played a little
Actually, I
bit,
would
but
take
Mike,
them.
it
I
was
would
it was
still
fantastic.
Take them, actually, I've seen them, but I would take always open for advice, as it turns out.
I'll have to find them, dig them up, but I think most of it is just like everything drains to the lake kind of thing, and it's a tricky course.
It was helpful on the blind tee shots. You
Sure.
remember you mentioned like, it's probably about this many yards. Aim at the birdhouse or whatever it was, or
Right.
this
There you go.
tree, and away you go.
13 is a great example there. So aim at the birdhouse is a great one there, and on 9 you're also sort of aiming at a certain. I think 9 also maybe has a birdhouse there too, but fantastic course. But local knowledge super important at a place like that, because you step up to the tee and you're like, oh yeah, 207-yard par 4, easy birdie hole. Unless you're in one of the bunkers or in the trees on the left or over the green or to the right. So lots of places where the course has some teeth too. I mean, definitely very fair, but better be hitting fairways and greens if you want to score there.
Absolutely.
How have you played in the Tamarack the past couple of years?
Last year, I had a bit of an issue in one of my qualifying rounds. I ended up in the 9th flight, which is really the 10th flight because there's a championship flight. The year before, in my debut, I think I was in the 7th flight, I want to say, and made it all the way to the consolation final. So that was quite fun, but last year, not at my best, I have to say.
I was hoping you're going to say you won your flight and you're the only one in your flight, but
No, we only got to do that one time, but we're definitely aiming. It's been a fun summer, boys. Shaved almost 3 strokes off the cap, so planning to not be in the 9th flight this time around.
Great. What's your cap
at? Down to 10.6. So the push for single digits is definitely on, and was fortunate enough to have a putting lesson with Derek Ingram last month, but unfortunately, as I've learned and knew beforehand, I've played more than I've practiced, so I have not had immediate results. Definitely, we have a plan. I got a video on very simple, getting on the pendulum, 1, 2, follow through, but need to spend a little bit more time on the practice green in order to really see the improvement on that front. But definitely it's been a lot of fun this summer, and it can be an excruciating game at times, but also a lot of joy in there too. Like, it's been a lot of fun.
Well, on the topic of lessons and getting some tips and tricks, Marshall Patterson, he's been a guest on the podcast
Twice?
Twice.
Yeah. He's an incredible guy, just north of California. He's a teaching professional down there, big Titleist guy. But he was working with you on your putting game as well at one point, wasn't he?
Yep, definitely all-around game. He's definitely helped with my ball striking and getting to be more consistent. He was super helpful when it comes to the grip. You know, everyone's heard of the cradle the bird special, but I was always someone who, when things got a little bit tighter, when you're having a great round, the tendency was to grip the club a little bit tighter, you know? So for me, my ball striking's improved tenfold, and Marshall had a big influence on that for sure. The putting, he definitely was helpful there and got me through a stretch where I was really struggling with stabbing the ball, and there too sort of have changed the grip since that time. But great human being. Last year during a Jets trip, one of his few days off, I didn't actually ask him if he would come out with me. I told him I was coming to his course, and he was kind enough to show up. So, and we had just an awesome playing lesson kind of a day, and the wind was howling, but it was great fun, and it kind of helped get me going on the right path for this season's improvements that have since been sort of implemented.
Well, if you've heard the episodes here of 18 Over Par, of Marshall's to be specific, he's a pretty eccentric dude. What are lessons like with him?
Oh, he's very straightforward, and he's got a lot of passion, as you guys know.
And I mean that all in like a great way.
No,
he's
and he's
fantastic.
very straightforward, but he's there to help. So, I mean, he's a guy that can, if you have your ears open, you can learn a lot there. So, like I said, my ball striking's gotten so much more consistent through our work. We worked together at Breezy Bend a couple years back, and yeah, like I said, playing lesson in I think it was January or February. I can't remember exactly what month, but it really helped me get off to a strong start this year. And yeah, he's a direct person, but he's very enthusiastic and encouraging. I mean, that's been a huge part of it. When I've had some of my best or worst rounds this year, I've sent him a note, and he's always, reminding me on some of the things that we've worked on. And just, you got to trust the process, right? It's not you don't just wake up one morning as hard as you work and think you're going to go from 13 to 8 overnight. But, he got me on the TrackMan and everything else out on the range, and a lot of video stuff at the putting. And yeah, it's been super. I'm lucky to have him come into my life at the time that he did, a time where I've been passionate about golf. He's been kind enough to, connect me with some of his buddies at different courses. And out in Arizona, I played with one of his buddies that he has worked with in the past, and we just had a fantastic day out there. And the beauty of the golf business is sort of like the beauty of the hockey business. There's a lot of unbelievable people, and we talked about getting behind the velvet rope, and sometimes you're a text message or an email or a phone call away from just an extraordinary experience. And that's the other part about our friendship. Marshall's been great in setting me up with some of his buddies and getting on some really fun places over the years.
Well, on that note, whether it's Derek Ingram, DI, or Marshall Patterson, or whomever you worked with, maybe there's a tip or a lesson that you can pass along to, say, myself or Mike or the listeners here that could be advantageous for their game.
Yeah, honestly, had a chipping lesson with Derek Goodwin when he was still back at St. Charles before he moved over to Glendale, and just absolutely fantastic in terms of the simplicity of chipping and using the bounce of the club. Where I was a guy who, much like on the practice green, occasional stabber when it came to the chipping, and to eliminate the chunks or at least reduce them, just using the bounce of the club was such a something that is simple in its very nature, but also something that you don't necessarily think about when you're out on the course or in that situation where you're trying to get up and down to save par or to minimize the damage or things like that. So that was one. I mean, again, all my work with DI and Marshall have been fantastic as well. But the first lesson I ever took was that one, and it's something that's really stuck with me, and it's something that I, as a person who's not a teacher, can easily, you're playing with one of your buddies and like, hey, I'm struggling with my chipping. Well, if you use this part of the club, it's not going to
Bounce? What's bounce?
exactly that thing on the bottom of the club where the ball explodes off of. So that was the biggest one for me. And also, growing up, Cliff Dell is a guy who was a dad of one of my buddies that I grew up with, Craig. He was the first person that I worked with in terms of swing stuff, and he had a net in the garage, and
cool.
It was kind of a cool setup. And later on he would make clubs, and so he was the first kind of influence in terms of like teaching, not necessarily lessons, but like helping. As someone who I played baseball at a pretty high level, and you always hear sometimes your baseball swing sneaks into the golf swing, and you don't want everything to be congruent. It's not always going to lead to the same results, and getting in front of the, if your hands are in front of the ball in golf, not good. Right. The benefit to hitting a ball inside the third baseline or into the gap is not necessarily the same as when you're trying to pound a drive with a high draw,
Right.
So he was a guy who had an influence on me for sure as well growing up.
Is that what your first set of clubs were? Or were they from?
No, they were not
made
maids.
them? No?
My first set of clubs were beautiful Bob Murphy classics. So I think a lot of people maybe of my vintage. I just turned 50. I'm in 1975. So
congratulations.
A lot of thank you. A lot of folks had the Bob Murphys growing up, and I had a neighbor, Marie Sawatsky, who had old school persimmon driver, and also a 4-wood that I absolutely loved borrowing on occasion when we would go out and play those. So Bob Murphy classics were my first. But the set that I used the most growing up when I was really into golf in high school, I had the beautiful MaxFly VHL irons in high school. So kids at home, you might want to look them up.
Yeah, I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, they were the preemptor to the Titleist, maybe not T200 quality, but pretty solid stuff, and just a fun set that I remember getting vintage Manitoban, got them on sale at a golf store, and used them for a long time. I really enjoyed them, but then got into the DCIs, I think in my mid-20s, and fortunate enough to get into the AP2s, and then now into the T200. So
you're a Titleist guy.
Full on team Titleist, boys. People in my group often laugh. I'll find it, TP5 is a great golf ball, but I'm playing in a group, I'm flipping it over to you. And people are like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why are you giving me this? Titleist only. Titleist only.
Mike's Manitoba only. You're wearing let's call it the Manitoba Open sweatshirt. Yeah. So shout out to Corey and the gang. Corey Johnson, the general manager at Breezy Bend. Manitoba Open is coming up. Mm-hmm. It is going to be.
You were there? They got any merch?
There.
They got a new sweater I can get?
You know what? I didn't go into the pro. Yes. Well, you can always spend money there. We know Mike and his affinity for spending money. If you've listened to this podcast, he likes to spend it on golf stuff. Whether it's going to help his game or not, you never know.
I was thinking of stopping at the pro shop here.
Yeah, we'll check it out
after the show.
Hey, look good, play good. It's always a good mentality to
look
have.
Look good, play good.
Feel good.
Well, no, look good, feel good, play mediocre. Yeah. That's what it was.
Aim higher, Mikey. Aim higher.
But that's pretty high.
But we got a link for that as well in our link tree. Just go to our Facebook, Instagram, whatever, X, MySpace, check it out. And get down there. We're going to be down there, or at least I'm going to be down there. Maybe Mike might come out for an evening or two.
Yeah.
I played there last night, and the rough is rough. The rough is rough. That's all you need to say about it. It's very, very long. I was walking. I forget which hole it was, but I was walking in the rough. I unfortunately hit my ball into the rough. I found 3 balls just walking over it. You lose your ball in the rough. There, it's pretty wild. I've never seen. Now, having been at Southwood, like the Manitoba Open, I've been at Southwood, and myself being a member at Southwood, there's the fescue, but the rough was, okay, you can get out of there. Breezy, you're losing the ball.
Wow. It's crazy. I played it earlier this month also, and just fantastic shape. The course has come together really, really nicely, but as you mentioned, the rough was extremely thick and penal, and it has to be. That's the protection for the course, right? Mm-hmm. So, going to be a fabulous event. I covered my first Manitoba Open back in 1999 when I was the Free Press summer intern.
Wow!
And covered a ton of them. Love the event. It's a fabulous time of the year. You always love to see the volunteerism, people getting into golf, and the quality of player is just so exceptional, guys. I mean, from having been there, but this year, the greatest example is JJ Spawn, right? This is a guy who didn't win the Manitoba Open, but was right there. He was the 3rd round leader. I think he finished 3rd or 4th that year. But just exceptional player. And like, look what he's doing now. And yes, I get it. It was a decade ago or whatever it was, but you can see these guys on the way up. Now it's fun to say, oh, that guy played in Manitoba. Oh, great. But I actually watched him play, you know, before CT Pan played in the Olympics, he won the Players Cup. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a pretty crazy thing. And the quality of player to come through has been phenomenal from the very beginning.
And even so now, PGA Tour Americas.
Yes.
The competition, I think it was the first time last year at Southwood where it was PGA Tour Americas. And I maybe mentioned this a couple times on the show. The difference between PGA Tour Canada, which still had a lot of international flavor, but now that you have a lot of the South Americans that are in there, the level of play just increased. There's one hole, it was a party hole at Southwood, hole number 8, tournament 17. I remember everyone was hitting the green. Everybody hit the green. Where before that, you know, maybe you get one or two guys out of the threesome that would get it on the green. When I was there, maybe saw 12 groups go through, no one missed the green. These guys are dynamite. You get to see them, as you said before. You know they're going to be on the PGA Tour. Some of these guys, maybe even next year. Yeah, we had Shipley that was down there last year at Southwood. Low am at the Masters. You're wearing the Masters shirt here. No free ads for the Masters.
No.
And I think was it Springer who won one of these years, and he went and shot like 59 on tour.
Wow.
Like the next season or a season after that. Like it's wild to see these guys hit the ball and play in person. And you get to do it. And it's always a good time at Breezy anyways. Always,
yes. And it's just a great event, right? I mean, David Hearn versus Eric Compton way back for me. It was another one that was fun to follow. Mackenzie Hughes was in contention the one year at Pine Ridge. It's a fun event, great players, and it's a great chance for Manitoba to showcase its golf courses, and that's kind of the beauty of the rotation that's now set up, the five course rotation over the next 5 years, and it should be great to put some of those courses on display that some of them have been in the rotation before or been in the mix before, but it's nice. It's a good time, and it's also a great way to spread the love a little bit, because it can be a little bit taxing on the members if you're hosting it 5-10 years in a row, but I think it'll keep everything fresh, and a lot of great courses to be seen and to be played. And it's always been an event, guys, where being fortunate to know some guys that have played on the tour from Manitoba before, the feedback that they always received from their buddies, no matter what country they were from, is that Winnipeg has always been one of the enjoyable stops. It's a great town. We know that people get behind the event, and it's always great to showcase that element as well.
Yeah. Sounds like the hospitality for the players is just unbelievable. Like,
yes,
they
look forward to coming.
They're rolling out everything. Was it they're getting haircuts on the in the back of Southwood there? I thought that was pretty cool. So I tried to sneak in there, and they kicked me out pretty quickly. But whenever you can get your haircut in an obscure place.
You got to do a little better job getting the badges for that one, Mikey.
Yeah. Well, I got my haircut in Minneapolis Airport once. So. That's the only one I got.
Did you leave a Yelp review for that one?
I will now.
Oh my goodness, that's impressive. Good for you. Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought because you mentioned that.
Sorry,
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No,
I don't know how we got there.
No, well, I did have one growing up in Altona. Is it the Sunflower Festival?
It is. Yeah,
okay.
Sunflower Capital. Yes.
Yeah, Sunflower Capital. I know they have like Miss Sunflower or something like that. I think I went to school with a Miss Sunflower once. Anyways, did you ever do that?
Sunflower Queen.
Sunflower Queen. Sorry,
yes,
thank you.
Okay.
Really?
Yep. And did you guys ever do the walk across the border and then walk back? I thought before it got a little bit crazy at the border, it was.
It was
just
great,
do that.
It was a great place to grow up, guys. Playing Sports, especially hockey. Pre 9/11, we played. A lot of our tournaments were in War Road, Grafton, Hallock. Roseau, places like that. So it was always a treat to go across the border. But again, that was a time. Like I said, being 50 now, that was a long time ago, and sometimes we went into the city to play, but a lot of the time it was either cheaper or just part of the excursion portion to go over to the States. But I never did cross the border on foot. No.
Okay.
Good. Is that how far of a walk? Like that's still like an hour walk.
No.
Isn't it?
I mean, Gretna is very close to the border. Yeah, like within not even 5 minutes, just past.
Okay. I did look it up on the map today. Altona. I knew it was close.
You did not pass the geography lesson that included the U.S. portion, though.
Right. No.
But we'll give you a pass on that.
Thank you.
Well, Mike was kind enough to print off your hockey stats.
Yeah.
Because you played for the Altona Maroons. Is that what it was?
Winkler Flyers and junior, boys first. But,
okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Speeding
It's
ahead.
okay. It's okay.
Pembina Valley, MMHL, then to the Winkler Flyers, University of Regina, and then Altona Maroons. So
Yeah.
I did notice some high penalty minutes here in your younger years. Were you fighting in AAA or?
There was not a lot of fights on the dance. You would not find a lot of hockey fights. Hockeyfights.com. You wouldn't find a ton for me.
Okay.
I do think there were only 4 fights in the 4 years of junior, but the high PIM totals are accurate. As you know, you guys, I like to talk a little bit. I did get the occasional 10-minute misconduct. That is true, but definitely a feisty forward.
Okay.
Sweet talk between the whistles, but or after the whistle, I guess maybe. But there was a time I maybe had a little not the best temper, maybe growing up as a teenager. I gotta be completely, like I said, happy to be transparent. Fortunately, there's not. You will not find that on a golf course near you at any point.
That's good.
Calm down considerably. I'm not one of those guys who that goes all wild and crazy out there. So. But yeah, definitely in my teenage years, definitely had a few years where the PIMs were high. Occasionally, may have learned how to slash like in between the glove and the elbow pad. There were a few of those distributed over the years. Also known for getting involved in front of the net and often having people bigger than me help clean up the mess. But I was large as a teenager, fellas. I was like 5'8", 160 in like grade 6 or 7.
Oh, wow, okay.
Unfortunately, I only barely made it to 5'9" and a whisker. So I went from being the biggest and strongest guy out there to being of below average height. And I like to say, in my younger days, did put up a few totals earlier on the pre-junior days, but had one really good season there. But the 16 goals maybe that year. My last year was a solid year. 16.
You don't remember? It was a long time ago, but he knows every stat.
No, it's all I got. It's all I got. 16 goals, 30 points. Maybe my last year. Is that?
For the Winkler Flyers there in the MJ.
My last year in Winkler there. So it was a lot of fun. Nice. And two guys. So when I went to Pembina Valley, we played like maybe one home game a year there. But so from 15 until 23 or 24, I played outside of my community for the bulk of my time. Now, luckily, playing in Winkler, I could live at home with my parents, 25-minute drive. So I missed out on the billet experience, but still got to live at home, which had its own perks, I guess, over the years. But then after I got cut my third year going into Regina, and again, classic 13th forward. I didn't play a ton in college, but got the tracksuit, got 2 bonus years out of it after playing in Winkler. One of my assistant coaches there, Barry Lewis, knew that it was one of the best journalism programs in Western Canada for sure, if not the country. Helped get me a tryout there essentially and made the team and got 2 bonus years out of it. But yeah, then after the third year, I ended up getting cut that year. They got a few more recruits, and that year I went home and started playing senior hockey in my hometown. So for the first time since I was 14 years old, playing high school hockey for the W.C. Miller Aces, had a chance to play at home again. It kind of rekindled the passion for that sport also, kind of like golf. After a bit of a hiatus, then you go back and you're back feeling passionate about the sport that has been a big part of your life.
Is that kind of how you got into the sports journalism side of things? Was it the University of Regina, or was that something you were thinking about always maybe doing? Yeah,
actually, it's a great question. I had a great English teacher in high school, Peter Hildebrandt, who just passed away in the last year, but huge influence. Also happened to teach me how to throw a curveball growing up. So I always tell the story that when he was jumping up and down on his desk reciting Shakespeare, I looked at him a little bit differently than I might have otherwise, because I knew there was the sports element that I had, the connection with him. And, he's a guy who tried out for the St. Louis Cardinals and, very involved. It's just one of those tryout things. I mean, I mean, coming out of our small town, it was he had a great resume for sports, passion for it, coached a lot of things, and a brilliant teacher also. But so I didn't go to university right away, unlike some folks who, as soon as high school's over, I was working at the sports shop, Ventura Sports and Four Seasons Furniture, and something came up at the Red River Valley Echo. There was a job opening in the sports department. And here I am thinking, I'm just, barely a year out of high school. And I'm like, man, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. I'm playing hockey in Winkler. I'm playing ball for the Pembina Valley Orioles. But I'm just working a job that's just a job. It's sort of a transitionary phase. And all of a sudden this posting comes open and I'm like, oh, man, so writing in sports, that's a job?
Right.
Wow. Maybe I should apply, right? So my dad is an accountant by trade, but he worked at Golden West Radio. So I grew up around radio. So I had a little bit of broadcasting, enlightenment, I guess, if you will. Clayton Drager was a guy who was at the event at St. Charles. He's from Morris, but on a snowstorm, he stayed over at our house. So I've known Clayton my entire life. He worked at CFAM for a long time and for Golden West. So I grew up around it, and I was always a kid who the sports guys would get media guides from the Jets skates and training camp, and I would devour them. I'm going front to back. I know all the stats, historical references, and so I was always interested in that part of it, but didn't really know the path. Like I said, my dad was working at a radio station, but it was like, well, how do you get from A to B? And as it turns out, the first step was getting a job at the weekly newspaper in a small town of 3,000 people. It was an incredible experience for me. The managing editor at the time at the paper, Liz Wheeler, didn't really, by her own admission in our meeting, I don't really know a lot about sports. So at 19, I got to be the sports editor. So not only is it like my second job of my life here, fellas, but I'm basically getting to run the sports. And again, it's a 1-page or 2-page sports page department, but at that time with that level of experience, and the young listeners of this podcast will be thinking, what's he talking about? Like, this is a time where you're like using rollers and you're like gluing your stuff onto the page, using an X-Acto knife for your headlines. This is way before PageMaker and AI and all the other things that are doing it now. But and even too, I shot my own photos at the time, and it was a real cool experience. And those photos were developed in a dark room, and they weren't developed on your phone immediately for you to see. So cool environment, small. It was a small paper, but really got me passionate about it. But honestly, fellas, I was making $1,000 a month before taxes, which again, at 19, you might feel like a millionaire. Yeah. But you're also, after a year and a half, I kind of started doing the math in my head. I was kind of like, okay, $880 a month times 12 months. Maybe I should be thinking about university. So during my 20-year-old year in Winkler, when I was a captain, I took 18 credit hours at U of M. So it was a taxing load to some degree, but it was worth it in order to help make the load a little bit lighter. By then, I already knew I was looking at got a good chance to go to Regina, but that was a good bridge year also. So. But then the first year I came back and worked at the Echo again for the summer. But then the year after that is when I got the Free Press internship, which really kind of, I don't know if knocked down a few doors, but it really cemented what I wanted my path to be. Because the other thing I really wanted to do, guys, as a late teenager was to do play-by-play. I love... again, I enjoy talking, as you guys know, but that was my passion. Saturday night, you're listening to Bob Cole and those guys and Danny Gallivan growing up. My dad's boss, Elmer Hildebrandt in Altona, they used to have this is the days of the sportsman's dinner, like in the 70s and 80s. Danny Gallivan once came to CFAM in Altona, spoke at a dinner. I got an autograph of his on like the old Goal magazine. Like this is kind of like pre-hockey news even, guys. So that was something I always wanted to do, and I got to do it a little bit. I did some work for Shaw, but in university I called the Allen Cup final. Wow. Not the final, but the tournament in Lloydminster. There was a Regina team that one of my old assistant coaches from the Cougars was involved, and those guys knew I wanted to do it. And again, we just set up, it was wild. It was online only, and they played against Grunthal here in Manitoba, so it was kind of cool for me to come home, and now some of the guys that were playing against the Regina team were guys that I played against in hockey and stuff, so that was my plan B. And honestly, once I graduated, guys, my options were to be the morning radio guy and play-by-play guy of the Estevan Bruins. Golden West owns a bunch of stations in Saskatchewan also. So I was either going to veer to that path or go back to writing, and ended up Paul Wiesick, a former Free Press writer, took a paternal leave in the summer of 2000, and when I graduated in May, so I had locked that down, I think maybe in February or March. So I knew I had that 3-month deal, and that summer Judy Owen gave birth to their second child, and there was a mat leave opening at the Sun. So I was offered a chance to stay on in news at the Free Press, but I wasn't passionate about news. So I ended up going over for Judy's mat leave, and we always still see Judy at all the home games of the Jets. She works for CP still, even though semi-retired, if you will. But Judy's mat leave kind of paved the way for me doing what I've been doing for the last essentially 25 years in the market, and we're still great friends, and I'm super appreciative of that opportunity. And like I said, I mean, without Judy going on a mat leave, who knows where the wheel is spinning currently. I think I still would be doing something in the business, but not really sure exactly what I would be doing or where. The interesting part is that Brian Munns got his start in radio around the same time. So I thought maybe that working at a daily newspaper was a quicker path to the NHL. Munzie ends up doing that route in the Saskatchewan League, covered a bunch of the teams there, and he ended up getting to the NHL too. So we ended up both getting there on our divergent paths. But yeah, pretty cool. I mean, as a kid who wanted to play in the NHL, growing up in the prairies, finding a way to get there when your hands are made for typing, like I like to say, it's been pretty cool to get to do that. But hey, if you can't make fun of yourself, you shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
What are your hands made for, Mike?
Still trying to figure that out. Still trying to
Stickers.
figure that out. Yeah, not sure yet. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I had read that you had done an internship with Michael Landsberg.
Oh yeah. So one of the other cool things I got to do during my second year at the University of Regina, the internship for me, and again, wild and circular story. Originally, I was supposed to have an internship at Fox Sports in LA. So
Okay.
I have a buddy who was working, one of the guys I grew up with from Altona, Corey Friesen. He was working at 20th Century Fox, but he helped set up an internship in LA. The problem for me is that I couldn't get across the border a few times. So that's a story in itself. Ran into some unhappy customs agents trying to cross through Alberta. Who knows if I'd gone through Pembina, maybe, who knows, maybe it's different and this story is different. But on the second time, they said they needed paperwork and official lettering with letterhead. And so third time I go back, and they need bank statements and whatever else there. It was very strange. But the third time I try to cross, I have all the paperwork and I have everything that they asked. And the guy flat out says to me, he goes, "I'm sorry, I can't let you through. You're taking a job from an American." And I'm like, "It's an unpaid internship. What am I taking exactly?" He said, "Sorry, sir, I'm not letting you through. Good luck to you." And so now I'm scrambling. Like, I go from thinking that I have the best internship in the world. This is like I said, late 90s. So Fox is just starting to kind of branch out. They got a lot of the regional baseball rights. In my head, I'm thinking like I'm either going to be like helping intern with the LA Kings or Lakers or even too. It was the fall. I'm like, man, what if I get in the booth with Vin Scully for a day or two? And the only reason I could do the unpaid internship was that I have friends from Altona who are living there, so I had a place to stay. I got my 1991 Ford Escort loaded to the gills. No golf clubs, but my hockey equipment. You can barely see out the back window. Okay, so turned away 3 times. Now I get back. I didn't apply for the TSN internship because I had one that I thought was better, and so one of the people at the university, Wendy Tebb, is working her magic trying to see, is this still available? Have you filled this? And they're like, no. And like the year before, my roommate Kevin Pratt, who is now the producer on Jets broadcasts here on TSN, which pretty cool class. 2 Manitoba guys at the University of Regina, both end up working for a national network for a while, and he still is. So he was working with Gino Reda on the show. So we had a little bit of an in from Kevin having been at TSN the previous semester. So I get the opportunity, and I'm the researcher on Off the Record. So I'm thinking this is pretty darn cool, right? So I like to joke that I was there to help Michael look smart. Now, anyone who knows Michael, he doesn't need help looking smart. Yeah. He's one of the sharpest guys around when it comes to media. So it was an incredible experience. Got to meet a ton of people. I'm there going back to the green room to like guide people onto the set, and again, my job was we'd be in the production meetings, choose the topics, Now you got to give Michael all the background for all of these topics. So as something comes up, bam, he's got a stat or he's got whatever. Incredible. Not sure if you guys are into wrestling or not, but like met Mick Foley at one time.
Oh,
just absolutely wild. And,
I was we're big name drop guys.
Yeah,
So
I want to hear all the names. Yeah, all the names.
Yes, it was a pretty cool thing. And it was just a fun experience. And
that was out in Toronto, obviously.
yeah, in Toronto, I lived again. So the same friend who helped to get me the job or the internship at Fox Sports, I ended up spending 10 weeks on his couch with him and another pal of mine. So really fun experience, and it was just a.
I'm letting Nick know.
Really,
come on in, Nick.
Really fun.
You
event,
can come on in. You can come in.
It was a cool time in life for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
And honestly, guys, so I saw Michael Landsberg at the draft in Pittsburgh a few years later, and I'm like, I went up to him and I shook his hand. I'm like, hey, Michael, class of 1999 intern. I am super thankful, and you really helped me. And the one thing that he really helped me a bit with is that I wasn't sure if I wanted to do broadcasting. Sports desk is still big at
You
this
can come
time.
on and get your bottle if you want. Yeah, it's all good. Good to see you. That was Nick Nucci, by the way.
Very good, Nick.
Yeah,
Very
the
good.
cross-handed
Sorry to
golfer.
interrupt.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's good.
That's
This is
pretty
the beauty
wild,
of live
right?
radio. But yeah, I mean, really cool experience, and I wanted to make sure that, again, Michael's got an intern running through there every 3 or 6 months. I just wanted him to know that I was super grateful for the opportunity. Yeah. And one of the great things he mentioned is that, he was to the point where he had done Sports Desk for a long time, but then now had his own show for 20 years or whatever it was. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into TV, and he honestly helped me kind of focus more on print. Now, I don't want that to sound the wrong way. He wasn't saying don't go for it in TV, but some of his guidance was super helpful, and I just wanted to make sure that he knew how grateful I was, and that was really cool to be able. And you could tell that he appreciated it too, which he was always great to me. He was a guy who gave me a ride home from work, and during my first week there, he helped to get me into his gym. And you got rush hour traffic in Toronto, not great. So instead of going home at 5:00 and it taking 2 hours to get home on the train, I ended up getting a gym membership. So would spend an extra hour at the gym, then go home when it would take 45 minutes instead of 2 hours. So
Smart. Good idea.
But again, I don't get into that gym without Michael vouching for me there. So really great person, and a guy who I'm glad I got a chance to work with.
Yeah.
And we have a different Michael in here who's getting some wine from Nick Nucci's wine closet. Is that what we call it? Is it a wine closet? We'll take it.
Wine locker.
Wine locker, yeah.
A lot of guys have some good taste here, I gotta say.
Yeah.
There's some good taste.
Are you a wine guy here, Ken? Or are you what are you?
I love red wine, yes.
Okay.
My wife, Stacy, has taken the level 3. Yeah, she's very
For
sharp.
the sommelier, what is
Sommelier, in training, sure, yeah. So
Wow. I see that bottle of Camus there that usually has a price, a high retail point. I'm not sure.
I was thinking, based on the wine locker, you guys should be getting Al Gray on next, I think.
Shout out to Al. Come on, Al. Pop that bottle. I just look at Terry James' stuff. It's just full of wine.
Yeah.
And you can get a Terry James shot. I don't know if you've ever had the Terry James drink here. We always bring it up when we have the pod here at
I
Aqua.
don't think I have.
So it is an old fashioned with a splash of Grand Marnier. It is delicious.
It's tasty.
Probably have them later, yeah. I enjoyed it. Well, it's tasty, and then you have 4 of them, and you're like, well, that's why Terry rode his bike.
Yeah, the Uber is on its way.
Yeah.
Lyft,
Mike,
Uber, whatever you use. I mean,
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
impartial. Yeah, whoever's advertising with the Free Press this week.
Well, that's pretty cool. And so you start off with the Free Press, and then how do you get to where you are now? I guess what's the in between there?
Yeah, so when I started at the Sun, in my head I'm thinking, Judy's back in a year. Within a year or two, I'll be back at the Free Press, maybe, right? I mean, I'd done 2 work terms and had a great relationship with the people in the building there. Julian Ratchie, my first boss, was great. Buzz Curry, who brought me along the second time, also great to me. Know all the writers from the 2 summers, and thinking, oh man, maybe it'll take a year or two. I mean, I wasn't in no position to think that the industry was about to have basically the longest hiring freeze situation in the history of sports. So anyways, I mean, but it ended up being a blessing. I mean, I got to cover a ton of things at the Sun. I mean, covered the Moose for 10 years and, was there for almost 20 full years. And then late that summer, the Athletic was kind of new still at the time, and ended up having an interview with them, and took the job. It was at the time where it was. I mean, you guys know the history. It was our version of Sports Illustrated at the time, kind of growing up, right? So opportunity comes up, and it's one that you always hear about a chance, opportunity of a lifetime, or whatever you want to call it, and so I take it. Murat Atesh and I are working together, and I start in September, and in March, COVID hits.
Brutal.
Suddenly you wake up and you have, two people working at a place where there's no sports being played, and widespread layoffs. And all of a sudden that opportunity of a lifetime ends up being 9 months. And here's your walking papers. And by the way, your parachute's not very long because you haven't been working for 19 years at a place. You've been working for 9 months. But again, I mean, it was I don't regret the decision. The decision was the right one at the time for me. It just didn't work out the same way that I thought. But to be honest, guys, that day that I found out, I was waiting to interview Bruce Boudreau. We had an interview lined up 12:30. There's an emergency call at the Athletic at in the morning, and I'm listening and thinking, oh well, yeah, everyone's 10% cut in salary or whatever. You're thinking, oh well, that's not too bad. And my wife looks over to me. I was on mute, but she goes, well, what if you're one of the 46? And like the thought had never crossed my mind. I'm like, I just started here. These guys want me to be there. Why would I be one of the 46? Right? Obviously having never been laid off before, or not really knowing how the tech company was going to be working. My interview with Bruce is in 15 minutes. You will receive if you're one of the 46, you will receive an offboarding email at 1:00. 1:00 comes. I'm like, I push refresh once. I don't think it's there. I push it again, and oh my God, there I'm staring at this thing that says your offboarding meeting is at 2 p.m. And I'm like, oh man, I was supposed to be playing golf with Andrew Collier at Breezy, oddly enough. And I'm like, do I play? I'm not sure. I just got laid off.
Did you get
I ended up playing.
Okay, but did you get the interview in with Bruce? Or was
I texted Bruce. I said, Bruce, really sorry, but I just found out I got laid off. And he's like, no. Oh my God, I'm really sorry, Ken. Best of luck to you. Anyways, so odd way of saying that that Friday was not shaping up to be great.
No.
But I thought, you know what I enjoy doing in my life is golfing.
Yeah,
especially with people that you enjoy being around.
How did you play that afternoon?
Actually played not bad. I don't think I played great, but I didn't play terribly. And again, name dropping area. We randomly get paired up with Joel Hofer, St. Louis Blues netminder. It's like a year or two after the gold medal performance, and talking to people have heard the news at the course, and they're all like, oh my God, Ken, sorry. I'm like, hey, it happens. Play my round of golf, have a great day with Andrew. It's super helpful. It helps take me my mind off things. I get back home that night, and I have a DM from Luke Fox from Sportsnet, and he goes, oh, we've been looking for someone in Winnipeg for a long time. Here's my boss's number. Get in touch with him and see what happens. So laid off on Friday. On Monday, I have an interview. And by Tuesday, I'm offered a gig part-time, but a gig with Sportsnet.ca.
Wow.
Covering the Jets.
Cool.
Now, there's no hockey at the beginning, but that summer, that's COVID playoffs, and in Edmonton, I'm there. I'm covering it. You go from
incredible.
Really?
Within 24 hours, things had started to fall in motion. So always say everything happens for a reason. And this is kind of further proof of that. And ended up being like 3 great years at Sportsnet.ca, and, chance to work with Sean Reynolds, and done a bunch of TV stuff. And, one day you wake up and you're on Hockey Night in Canada in the middle of a box with Ron McLean and Elliot Friedman.
Right.
And you're kind of thinking, holy smokes. Like, so if I don't get laid off by the Athletic, I'm not on Hockey Night in Canada. So anyway, sorry, this is kind of, this kind of really veered off the highway.
Love it.
But,
so you were in the bubble. Were you there?
Yeah. I mean, the media bubble was not the same as the player bubble.
Sure.
So we were allowed to go back and forth to our hotel. We could go out to dinner, but like you definitely kept your thing very tight, but it wasn't like the teams and the players where you're, walking down the skywalk and that was all you had.
Yeah.
Was it like Zoom interviews or something at that time? Like what were they doing
We were still
at that time?
doing was it in person? There was still some in person.
Okay.
But masks and everything. It was just it was a wild scene, and like you had to buy a thermometer. Like you had to pass your thermometer. Like they didn't want to be handing you one and cleaning it off, so you had to buy your own thermometer. You had to get screened and clearance every day going to the rink. It was definitely a wild time, but kind of cool to have covered it just to try to explain to some people just how absurd it was.
Yeah.
Covering games that are in an empty building and no atmosphere, and then the next year they try pumping in the music, like crowd noise and music. It just so bizarro. But yeah, so to connect the dots, it was almost 20 full years at the Sun, 9 months at the Athletic, and then essentially 3 years at Sportsnet. And again, that was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make. I was on a 2-year contract, great opportunity, but didn't have pension or benefits through Rogers. So that summer, the Free Press came calling, and again, opportunity you can't refuse. I mean, it was a great opportunity to go back to a place where kind of the journey started at the Echo, but my full-time journey started at the paper. Kind of always thought I'd get back there. Then once you've been gone for 23 years, you don't think you are going to go back there because, the newspaper industry, not always in flux. But the Free Press has done a great job of investing in journalism and, still have us on the road a considerable margin almost at all the games. They came calling and said, we want you to cover the Jets with Mike McIntyre. And I looked at it, and at Sportsnet I had a 1-year contract and then a big question mark because now it was going to be 1 year left in the TV contract. Now, since then, the deal has been signed, the extension. But at the time, I didn't know that. I felt like I was kind of on an island, and it's been a TSN town. I mean, the regional rights are held by TSN. Winnipeg's a TSN town. So I wasn't quite sure what the future would bring. And after, a bunch of conversations and strangely enough, to tie it all together, the decision-making process is happening in the middle of the Tamarack, guys, 2 years ago. And I'm on the phone with people, and I'm like pacing around the hall, and I'm like, I got a tea time at 2:00. I got to decide my whole future right now. How am I supposed to play well right now? Are you kidding me?
How am I supposed to putt with that shit going on?
Yeah, I'm over. I'm at Jason and Nadine Falks, and I'm walking around the hallway, and he's kind of looking at his watch. He's like, he knows what's going on, but he's like, we're going to have to go soon. So, fortunate enough that the folks at Sports left on really good terms. The folks at Sportsnet were great. I mean, at the time I wanted that to be my lifetime job, but at the time it was a 1-year contract left, and I just couldn't go with that uncertainty at the time. So, and again, in the conversation, the guy is saying, it's been a long time since someone said they're leaving a multi-million-dollar corporation to go to a newspaper for security. But that is what it felt like at the time. And again, there was a sentimental element of it as well. I mean, I grew up reading, we get the Free Press in Altona delivered, and I grew up reading it. I wanted to be like those sports writers. So that opportunity came together, and it's getting ready for year 3 covering the Jets for them, and wildly enough, year 15 overall. And oddly enough, you look up and you've been covering sports for half your life at a daily newspaper or a national product. And I still feel young, guys. I mean, I may not look it, but I still feel like
young,
I feel like I have the same passion I had for it as when I started, and that's the great way of knowing that you love what you do. And and again, golf is part of that too, right? The ability to go out and play around with your buddies and be out with nature and challenging yourself. Just great things, and passionate about that, just like I'm passionate about my work. So super lucky.
Getting all choked up.
Oh, not even choked up. It's just my voice. I knew I needed a water that was, hydration, such an important part of my my life here. And I got the small glass.
Small glass. Yeah, they gave us these.
We can get some more water if you want.
Water, some beer, some wine.
Just another sign that I talk too much.
Well, maybe that's what spawned. Was that your introduction then to Sean Reynolds? Was that Sportsnet? And that's maybe what spawned the Kenny and Rennie podcast?
Yeah.
Is that Rob?
So that is Robbie Spears right there, who I played with yesterday.
The Good Doctor. We had on the podcast season 1, I believe.
Indeed. There you go. Honestly, the podcast is interesting. So Sean and I are we're friendly, but I don't know that we're friends, like starting out, right? Sean kind of came to the industry a little bit late, as he explained to you guys. He was definitely around, but not like, he was new to me. And he's a couple years younger. So oddly enough, we didn't really cross paths in hockey, even though we played in a lot of the same places and never been on the ice together. And all of a sudden, you know, the sports and things, when we started working together, kind of out of necessity. And they're like, well, you know, I get hired and I'm like, oh, hey, Sean, we're going to be working together now. Cool. It was during the COVID year. Both of us are used to traveling, if not every week, then every other week, basically. And, you know, both of us were at home, and one day we're kind of like, started talking. We're like, you know, we should think about doing a podcast. And then we started doing like more of a magazine style show where we'd have sports media personalities and get their backstories, sort of like this one. But we also were thinking about, man, there's probably, this is around the time 1290 shuts down too. So we're thinking like, what about a post-game show? Like, is this something that we should be thinking about? And one day, I can pinpoint it. Jets played the Leafs in Toronto, beat the Leafs. Leafs were the talk of the town that year. At the time at Sportsnet, I'm only writing 3 days a week. So this was one of the days I wasn't scheduled to write. I sent a note to my boss saying, hey, this is big news. I mean, I know it's a regular season game, but Jets beating the Leafs, I think this will play well in our market. And I was told, well, we'll just have, Chris Johnson was still working at sportsnet.ca at the time. We'll just have CJ write it. He's in Toronto. He'll handle it. And I was kind of bummed, and I'm like, I called Sean. I'm like, I should be writing. And I'm like, we should do the podcast right now. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. We hang up. I called him back. I'm like, no, he calls me back. He's like, let's do it. So like within half an hour, we're up and running. And that was sort of the podcast had began, but this was when we sort of shifted format to being more post game, and now look up and now it's year 5 or whatever. So
and you have idiots like us spamming you in the comment section.
No, comments always welcome. And again, the beauty of what we sort of tried out of the design was, Sean and I are sitting at the wood, and there's an open chair, and you should come down and have a seat and share your opinion, right? I mean, it's not a call-in show, no. But in the comments section, we highlight the comments. People are into it. There's great engagement. And the beauty of the show, and as you guys know from having people on, like it's the relationships that get built. And we just had our year ender the other, month and a bit ago. There's a table at TCB, and there's 20 people sitting together. None of them knew each other before the podcast.
Oh, wow.
They all became friends. Yeah. Right. Like the community building portion has been one of the really coolest parts about seeing where the show is growing, for sure.
Ken, one thing I wanted to ask you about on the broadcasting point is, for a while there, you're grinding it out. You're following the Moose. You're probably on the bus. And I heard a little story. You had a little run-in with Randy Carlisle. Who was coaching the Moose at the time, obviously.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prickly coach, always been known as a fairly prickly coach.
Yes. Randy, great person. Even better person if you weren't holding a microphone is how I would describe Randy. For context, again, your young listeners will be howling their heads off. To set the scene, the Moose are playing the Lake Erie Monsters in Cleveland at Gund Arena, where LeBron at the time is just getting rolling here.
Wow.
Funny quick aside before I'm not trying to dodge here. I'll get to it because it's one of the funnier stories of my career for sure. Morning skate one day, Moose just got off the ice. The basketball practice facility is on another floor, but the locker room is on this level. LeBron walks by, and like 6'8", 260. Wow. And the players in the hallway are kind of like, holy, like the guy looks like an absolute linebacker, but a 6'8" linebacker. And like, these are guys that are big fellas and like not afraid to throw down at the American. Wade Brookbank is one of the guys, probably 6'4", over 220.
Just Google
probably.
Wade
Brookbank. Big dude. He looks up at LeBron and is thinking, I'm glad he's not a hockey player, is kind of what's going through his mind. So later that night, or this is a different trip, but so afternoon game, Moose are playing a 3-3. They are in Toronto Friday, Saturday at Cleveland, Saturday night. Sunday at Hamilton. Game ends. And this is like, yes, I have a cell phone, but I don't have something that I can hotspot Wi-Fi tether to something to send my story in. I'm literally on dial-up internet in the basement of the Gund Arena. And it's not working. It's not connecting. And I'm looking at my watch thinking, oh man, bus is at 5:45 or whatever the time is. It's not good for me.
Well, you got to travel, right? You got to get in the bus. The boys got to go.
I have to get on the bus, and it's a 7-hour bus ride to Hamilton. That is ahead of me. I've got my story written. I'm thinking, great, I got 15 minutes to spare until I can't file. If I can't file, I have to go old school and like dictate it over the phone. But like this is at a time where like it's probably $3.50 a minute on Sprint to get your phone call through.
Right.
So I can't afford to do that either. Finally connects, gets in, send, and I am now sprinting to the bus. It's like 5:47, 5:48, 5:49. I'm like, oh my God, I'm late for the bus. I'm in deep trouble here, but I can't do anything about it. I have filed. Now I feel hurry as hard as you can or fast as you can. Deal with whatever you deal with. I get on the bus. Oh, Randy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to explain my internet. He stops me like kind of mid-sentence. Stands up in front of the entire team. Bus players, they have just got their food from, between stops, you order from whatever Italian place.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You got a 7-hour bus ride. People are undoing their food. Randy absolutely unloads on me. Like, absolutely. And like, I'm sitting down beside Kelly Moore, a longtime broadcaster in Winnipeg, and I'm sweating because I'm like full sprint for the last like 4.5 minutes. And Randy like stands up above me and like just starts laying into me. You're a guest on this bus. You cannot ever be late. Next time, if this ever happens again, we're leaving and you're going to have to find your own way. And I'm feeling terrible. And like, this is an absolute complete dressing down. Like, worse than I've ever had
in front of everybody on the bus.
Life, in front of every player.
Yeah.
Part of it is probably for show, but at the time I am like mortified, right? And like I just about, my mouth opens and like Kelly Moore grabs my leg and squeezes it. He's like, it was like, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just wear it and move along. But like, if the bus ride wasn't long enough for 7 hours, now I got steam coming out of my ears. He has absolutely lit me up and embarrassed me in front of 24 hockey players. And my reward is I get to sit down for the next 7 hours and do nothing except like squeeze a Dasani bottle for as long as I can.
Oh,
but classic, like Kelly grabbing my leg was an absolute classic. Cause like now I'm thinking, halfway through, I'm thinking this is enough. And Kelly's just like, just eat it. It's fine. We are guests here. It's true.
Did the players say anything afterwards to you or?
Yeah. I mean, so we roll into Hamilton at, 3 in the morning or whatever time. And, broadcasters and media always wait for the people to leave. Yeah. So we're walking, their last person from the back, and I don't mind saying it. Wade Flaherty's the goalie at the time. Wade Flaherty is playing for the Manitoba Moose, current goalie coach for the Winnipeg Jets. Wade puts his arm on my shoulder and says, don't worry about it, Wiebe. That was just for show. He said, Randy did that to make sure no players ever miss the bus this year. And like at the time, I'm not thinking this way. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? And Wade is like, this is early in the season, like second or third road trip. Right. I barely know Wade at all. Like there's no need for him to try to make a reporter feel better. But he felt badly for how I was dressed down and he made me feel better. And, as a young, impressionable journalist, that was something that went an awful long way, I have to say. So, well done by Wade, and it gets funnier.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, it does, yes. On the next leg of said road trip, I've got a middle seat, and who do you think I'm sitting beside? Randy Carlyle.
Oh no.
And the beauty, he acts like nothing happened. Like,
Right.
to Wade's point that it was just for show, he's being friendly.
Yeah.
And and again, Scott O'Neill is the assistant coach at the time. He goes, "You guys make up yet?" Like it's funny, right? Because he knows it's part of the show too. But so that was a pretty big lesson learner, very early in my career. And there was one other Randy Carlisle beauty at the time on my first ever road trip covering the Moose in November of 2000. Moose are playing the Kansas City Blades. They played them. It was a home and home. So
Great team name, by the way.
great team name, great logo.
Yeah.
They smoked them 5-1 in Winnipeg. Maybe got smoked 6-2 in Kansas City. It's my first road trip. Tim Campbell's at the Free Press at the time. He's kind of like, rite of passage. He goes, "Well, why don't you ask the first question?" Okay, fine. Yeah. 25 years old, thinking, "Oh, well, a tough loss, but whatever." "Randy, did you feel your team got outworked tonight?" And like outworked was like the biggest swear word in the history of Randy Carlisle coach teams. You think my team got outworked? Their job is to outwork the opponent. If they didn't work, that means you're attacking me. And let's just say it was one of the times that I was pretty happy that this was not being streamed live on Sportsnet or TSN.
Right.
It would live
Because
notoriously
he also
in
lit me
YouTube
up as well.
realms.
Yes, yeah. It was Carlisle 2, Wiebe nothing at this point of the relationship. But honestly, Randy was he's a very good person, incredibly smart hockey mind. Maybe a little gruff exterior at times, but I learned a lot being around Randy.
Right.
Both personally and professionally. I learned that if he didn't want to be, he wasn't very warm to the media at times, and he wasn't very forthcoming. So, forced you to dig a little deeper and ask questions that he enjoyed talking about to get insightful answers because he's an insightful guy.
Yeah.
So that was super helpful, and I enjoyed being around him. But the last Kitty story is that when he got the job with the Anaheim Ducks as his first head coaching job. The day before, or whatever happened, I was working together with Dan Wood, who was at the Orange County Register. We were working together to try to break the story, and we ended up getting it. It's in the Sun, whatever else. Next day, Randy's doing a conference call. And at the end of the conference call, he says, "Hey, Weber, I bet you're happy to get rid of me, aren't you?" Pardon? What?
That's kind of cool.
And I think he was half kidding, but maybe like... When it was with Randy, he wasn't always kidding. There was probably an element of truth coming, but again, like Randy had a great career, won the Stanley Cup. Very good person, and again, helped me become a better journalist. There were probably some times where it took me a while to have those lessons sink in,
Right.
but I enjoyed. Contrary to popular belief, I enjoyed being around him because he was a smart hockey guy. So it helped me get better at my job. But yes, definitely there were a couple moments where I was like, "Whoa, don't lead with your chin, young man."
Yeah. You learn quickly.
Yeah, no kidding. Did you have another one there, Mike? Do you want to jump into
We can jump into the back nine.
All right, well, let's get into the back nine lightning round. This is going to be a fun back nine lightning round, I think. No pressure, Ken. No pressure.
Yeah.
And it is for Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth and member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. You can also check him out. Social media is just go to our Instagram, Facebook, X, MySpace. What else are we on? I don't even know. YouTube. Click on our bio. Take you to your link tree, and Bryce will be the first link there.
Yeah.
We'll also have some info about the Kenny and Rennie podcast. Maybe even a link to that wonderful article about
Thank
St.
you.
Charles in the Free Press.
Who told you about Randy? I'm going to need to know. Maybe you have to tell me after the microphone is off here. Or you're going to protect your sources?
No. You did. You told me about it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we got you drunk, and then
There was you did another podcast, the human something.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I pulled it from. So
Well done. That's good research by you.
see,
Mikey.
there you go.
Good
Mike's
research.
known for
Good
his research.
research.
He knows
Well
his
done.
research.
it was tough because there's so much out there that you have, so much content you have. Other people don't have a lot, or some people have a little bit, but I didn't have enough time to go through everything.
Nor should you. Nor should you.
I think the mistake I did when we interviewed Munzie was I like I knew everything. I knew too much.
Okay.
And then I was like, how about this? How about that? I was like, this is not good radio. So, but yeah, no, I pulled it from that interview you had done with that other podcast. So, but yeah, that was a good story. Yeah. Ken, you got a nickname?
Wiebe is the most common one. Blake Wheeler, who I just caught up with after he retired. Everyone else calls me Wiebe, but he called me Weebs for some reason.
Weebs,
So,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I saw Rain Man.
Which one?
Rain Man.
Oh, Rain Man is it's not a lightning round story, but when I got my start mostly on the radio side, I was doing the Sunday Night Sports Show with Joey Ello. I think it was probably from the research job with Off the Record. So I've been known to do a lot of research and be able to recite a few stats. So I got the Rain Man moniker out there. So yeah.
Well, this one, have you ever got a hole in one?
Here we go.
I was wondering, I'm like, man, you said you're wrapping it up, and no, I'm kidding.
Just getting started.
Yes,
We got another hour to go.
Not
folks.
a lot of lightning on this, but yes, fortunate enough to have 4, including the double aces at Glendale, it's crazy how time is flying. We're coming up on, I think, 10 years here. I think it was 2016.
Come on.
So
I remember hearing that on the radio.
Yeah,
I think it was
wild.
TSN 1290. It was
it
like
was
Jim
wild.
Toth was on or
Hustler
something.
was on
Or Huss
live.
was on,
and it was
wild. Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Do people call you Ace? Would that be another
Aces?
nickname?
Jim Toth liked the aces. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
one that... not throwing it around ever, but
You
it's
were
something-
golfing with Jim. Was it Jim and Sarah? You were
No,
golfing
Jim
with?
and Leah Hextall and
Leah
Kevin
Hextall, okay.
Olszewski. Yes,
Oh, wow.
Glendale, the Glendale Miracle. Kidding.
Wow, I was gonna say, just
there-
writing his own story.
Is there a book?
I thought you didn't write headlines here.
Exactly.
But here
I
he
don't.
is.
We leave the headlines to the headline writers. No, that's what Jim called it. He
When
was
does the
again-
book come out?
Joe, honestly, whenever someone brings it up, I'm like, oh man, again. No, it's something that honestly, it was such a wild thing to have occur that any golf fan who's in between super happy for you and also F off. It's a fun story to tell just because. And the crazy part is I'd never had one, right? So it's what made it even crazier. You're out with 3 of your media buddies, and again, it wasn't lining up to be a glorious golf day. Tim Horton started out of the gate double for me at Glendale.
Right.
Once I'm in the trees, once I've 3-putted, I'm thinking, man, what is going on here? How am I 4 over par? And next hole, kind of middle front pin, 140 yards, pitching wedge, high draw, one bounce, ticks the flag and drops.
Wow.
And the beauty of the not just the beauty of the shot, but there's 2 junior age kids playing behind us. And you guys know on 2 green is way higher than 3T.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids gave her like a big yell before. I mean, I know, I'm like, it's right at, get in. And the kids were like, yeah. So anyways, go fix the ball mark. We take a bunch of pictures, go to the 4T, and the funny part is, so the kids, I only can assume that the 2 junior guys had never seen a hole-in-one before, and they are pumped. Jim is still sitting in his cart at number 4. I think the 3 of us have hit. Jim is like doing one last Twitter post, and the kid hits a shot that goes through the cart. The kid is so jazzed, he airmails the green, and his tee shot goes through the cart while he's typing. And it doesn't hit him, but it's like, whoa. And now the kid is sheepishly coming up like, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. And Jim's laughing. He goes, it's my fault. I've been sitting here posting for the last 12 minutes. Yeah. So
gosh.
Hilarious. Now it's hard to play this has never happened to me before.
Right. And it's early
It's
in the
early
round.
in the round on 3. So, okay, 4, probably bogey or whatever. Get up to 5, bomb driver, hit it onto the green. I just missed the eagle putt. Like I'm talking lip out. And I'm like, oh my God, I just had a hole in one and I just had an eagle.
Which is rare because usually they say like you bogey like the next
Yeah,
hole,
right.
Totally.
you
Things are
blow
going
up.
sideways, not in a
Yeah.
good way. And then on the back, I have another eagle putt. And it's like short by an inch or 2. And I'm like, what is going on? 2 under on 1 hole and just about had 2 eagles on par 5s. Made birdie on both. Get up to 16. you guys know it's super tilted. It's not as tilted as it used to be. They've leveled it out a little bit, but Leah's never played before. So I'm mid backswing. I'm like, okay, Hexie, tall tree on the right is your target. And she's like, really? High draw, same thing, pitching wedge, lands, starts rolling down, and it's going, you're thinking it's got a chance, right? But it like picks up so much speed through the middle, and you're like, now it has to hit the flag, or it might actually go in the water.
In the river, yeah.
Now they have bunkers and it's a little bit more level. But so we're like, get in, hits the flag, and we start yelling. And the people on 17T rush down. Like, oh, what's the commotion about? Oh, he just got his second hole in one of the round. And the guy's like, the ball hadn't dropped yet. It was on the pin, but it hadn't dropped. And in only Jim Toth fashion, puts his arm around me, goes, nice birdie, Wiebe. And right as he says it, the ball drops, the people on the green start yelling, and then it's just mayhem ensues. The guys tackled me and are like, it just was just absolute mayhem. And then on my next tee shot, I hit the ball so far left on 17 that I was in the middle of the 18th fairway.
It's impressive.
And I made a triple on that hole.
But who cares?
Get
That's
to 18. Hit my ball in the trees on the left. I can't find it.
Yeah.
They're like, just drop it. Just put one down. I'm like, nope. Trudge back to the tee.
Man.
Trudge back to the tee, hit one, make another triple. So triple finish with 2 aces and 2 birdies for 87. But story for a lifetime. And,
Did you have to buy 2 drinks for everyone?
Oddly enough, this is pre-COVID, so it was not a packed day on the golf course, and it didn't cost as much as you think it should have. So, anyways, it was a crazy, one of those 1 in a million. And people say, you can't be serious, you're lying. I'm like, why would you lie about that? No one would believe you if you were lying.
Sure.
Exactly.
Like it's
As JR, you mentioned it, you heard it on the radio, and then
while it was
I heard
happening.
it on like Twitter, and Twitter's blowing up, and
this is pre-IG days, folks. But like we should have basically been going like live streaming from like number 14 on.
yeah. Did you say you have 4 hole-in-ones? You have 2 other ones?
Yeah. So 2 days before the anniversary of the first 2, I'm playing in the Manitoba Open Pro-Am at Southwood. And the pro we're playing with just won a national team championship at LSU. In the tournament, we're playing at like 110, and the pros are playing at the tips at the back. He hits 200-yard shot, bomb 5-iron to like 1.5 foot. And he's walking back, and I'm like, well, how many have you had? He goes, well, I've had 8, but I haven't had one in 5 years. I'm like, oh man, just keep firing at flags. You're going to get one. Literally step up to my ball, Drano. And he's wondering why I'm not flipping out.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah.
And the guy in my group, right, Randy Michelo's like, he had 2 in 1 round last year. And the pro is like, what? He's just going around with me for the round and thinking, this schmo has not had 2 in a round in one single round. So that was the third. And then actually last September during training camp at Minnewaska, number 4, high elevated tee, 60K wind with wind. I'm hitting third in the group. I'm playing with Keith Bialy and Jeremy Matashevsky, 2 guys that I played senior hockey with. Those guys both go first. Like they got the slope, reading and everything. We're like, I think it's about 110 yard shot. So it's 140, but it's playing like 105, let's say.
Okay.
I don't know what to hit. I grab 50. My buddy before me hits 54. I grab 54. High draw, front pin, 1 bounce short, but like big spin onto the green. I'm thinking it's slowing. I think it's going to stop, and the ball disappears. And my one buddy in the group is like, he's never seen one. He is going absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. So that was the 4th one. It was pretty crazy.
That's pretty amazing.
Crazy.
Any tips for getting hole-in-ones?
Honestly, there's so much. The fluke element is
Sure.
Of course, you got to know your yardage, but a lot of times you got to just hit it pure. I mean, honestly, but I mean, you always hear the stories of the guy who's like a 28 handicap that like
tops it,
3 woods it off like the ping pongs it off the cart path or whatever. But again, once you get one, you think you can get one on every shot. That's the problem on par 3 is you're thinking, oh man.
Yeah.
And
I think that too, and I don't even have one yet.
well, that's
Do you,
good.
Mike?
You
Do
need
you-
that
I
mentality.
walk up there, I'm like, yeah, this is the day.
one. This is the one.
That's one of the million things you think of when
It
you
won't,
stand over
then
the
it
ball.
doesn't hit the green. But
Get in the hole. Get
I
in
always
the hole.
say a pro or a PGA, they should give like hole-in-one lessons. I was like, all this driving and putting. No, how about we just focus on how to get a hole-in-one, right? So
There's tons of guys who've never had one that are way better at golf. And
Oh,
like,
yeah,
why is
absolutely.
This, why is this guy? Why? How does he have 4? So, anyways, no, advice: no. Just honestly, get your yardage. Aaron Cockrell often says to me, the biggest problem for amateur golfers: hit one more club than you think you should hit.
Yeah.
Because generally, not a lot of times where you're bombing it long.
yeah,
But
yeah,
anyways, it's
that's pretty amazing.
pretty crazy. Honestly, it's. Did not anticipate that in that decade to have 4. Let's just put it that way.
I think you answered this earlier, but what would be your preferred golf ball brand or model?
Generally play Pro V1s, but also have dabbled with the Pro V1X.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, there's tons of great balls out there, but Titleist guy through and through for the last bunch of years, and it's that's all you'll find in my bag.
Do you mark your ball in a specific way?
Yes, I bark my ball with a red Sharpie smiling face.
All right.
2 eyes, a nose, a big smile, and then a circle around it. So, lots of people have found those balls. They're easily identifiable, and not as much
good.
this year, but have known to be found in the trees.
You'll find him at Clear Lake after the Tamarack.
Yeah.
Coming right
Hopefully
up there.
not as many these days, but yeah, definitely those are probably the 2. I mean, AVX has improved a lot too, but
Yeah, I love the ABX.
also a good ball. But yeah, for me, Pro V1 is what I'm playing the majority of the time. Marshall got me into the Pro V1X left dash for a bit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I haven't reloaded the stock on that one yet. But yes, Titleist, team Titleist through and through here. Everything.
This one could be a hard question to answer, as you call it the Manitoba Golf Tour or the
Yes.
which golf course in Manitoba is your personal favorite?
Oh, yeah. That's there's too many. There's a lot of 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. I mean, I play the most of my golf. The most rounds in a year I'll play at Clear Lake. Also love Falcon. But I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's so many great layouts. I would have a hard time picking one. Again, I'm not trying to dodge, but fortunate to play a ton of courses. So many great. Whether it's superintendents or pros or GMs or whatever, folks doing just an incredible job around our province. We're super lucky. Just played Granite, like I said. I've got a buddy that has a cottage at Buffalo Point. So Lake of the Sandhills is a kind of another one of those sleepers, but I can't answer.
Can't answer.
I apologize.
No,
that's
we are
fair.
very lucky, though, as you said. We're
just super
extremely lucky.
And again, where we are situated is also one of the most enjoyable places to play in the province. Also,
That's
Where I shot 1 under on the front nine not too long ago, Mike.
here.
well done.
Here, yeah. From the forward tees, though. From the forward
Oh
tees.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I'll take it.
Which Manitoba course would be on your bucket list that you haven't played yet? And I think when we saw you at the media event at St. Charles, I pulled out my Google sheet.
Yes, you did. Yes,
and I went through the course. They hadn't updated it yet, but I think I had played, I'm not sure, 45 of 80 or something. Do you have a list, or you probably know when you were looking at your list, you're like, I'm okay. I played that. I played that. I played that. Where are you looking to get out to next?
That's a great question too. I don't know. I'd have to look at your list again, but I played most of the bucket listers have been played, I think. But again, one of the things I've been trying to do the last few years is play a course that I haven't played before. Over the last few years, I've knocked off a few more, whether that's Portage or I think I played Old Rovers Run last year, the 9-holer. It's not far from my house in Niverville, so I don't. I'm two bad answers in a row. I don't know that. I don't know which one. I think again,
Understandable, just because we see.
I got a high volume. That's the only reason why I can't answer is because I've got a high volume. And to the previous question, we're so lucky. The blend between public courses and the private courses around our province just absolutely tremendous, right? So we're lucky. And great variety pack, right? So you're wearing the Southwood sweatshirt. Love the link style. I was super fortunate. The guys there, the one summer I played there a ton. And love the course there too. Love Pine Ridge. Elmy's great. I mean, the rural course is also awesome. So
You're a free.
I'll have to look at the. I'll look at the list again.
Sure,
and
yeah.
Share the spreadsheet.
I'll have to send in the comments section for the next on the hit list.
Yeah, well,
But,
I brought it up to Jared Ladebrook, Golf Manitoba, that they should have I called it a bingo card at the time, but
I love that idea.
I don't like bingo anymore, so we maybe just a list.
Did you get snubbed on the Kinsman, or what's going on here? What's happening?
I'm not very good at bingo, I guess.
Mike hates letters and numbers.
What's on yours? Sorry, I'm not. Being a reporter. What's next on your list?
Some weird ones that you would have thought that I would have played. I haven't played Carmen.
Okay, it's excellent.
Haven't played Minnewaska.
Yeah, you can do both in one day there. Let's go for the 36-hole challenge.
Yeah.
Or we're trying. We were trying to line something up with Patrick Law this summer, but didn't get to do it.
Played everything in the
Mendoza,
city.
there you go.
And
Shout
then
out Mendoza.
I started getting out east because it was northwestern Ontario.
Oh, I think I told you Oak Island you got to get to.
Yeah, I played Oak Island.
And I haven't, so Oak Island's on mine.
Yeah,
and up north. I want to go up north.
Thunder Bay courses too, because they're technically in our catchment of Golf Manitoba. But
there you go.
Anyways, so yeah, but Carmen and Minnewaska, and
got to do it.
So we'll get out there. What would be the most memorable course that you've ever had the chance to play? Seems like you get out a bunch.
Yeah, best golf experience is at Cabot Links and Cliffs. Went with three buddies in 2019, 19. Just incredible experience. Honestly, feel like you're on the tour. We had a caddy. We each had our own caddy the first round.
Very nice.
Incredible property.
What month did you go in?
We were there in June.
Okay.
No, July. Sorry. And we were super lucky. We played 36 one day there, and the wind was there, but it wasn't crazy. Mostly sunny, some wind, a little bit of rain. Maybe out of the 36 holes, maybe it rained for 4 holes.
Mm-hmm.
And the day that we left we played it 2 separate days, 36 holes. The day after we left the property, the flag was literally at 45 degrees.
Oh, wow.
So as people were walking to the first tee, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, I just had the best experience I've ever had at any golf course. And this gentleman is going to be thinking, what in the world am I doing? What am I doing here? So anyways, definitely that's probably my number one. And then for 1 and 2, and for number 3, it's tough. Super lucky. I played Capilano, played Shaughnessy, I played Banff, Stewart Creek, played just a ton of really lucky. Been lucky to play a ton of courses, and even some in the States.
You bring your clubs sometimes on the trips.
So number 3 has to now be. I was lucky last year. I played Pinehurst number 1. It was at the end of a road trip. I could not bring my own clubs based on where the location was because I was on the Amtrak for part of it. So had to rent clubs. So didn't play number 2 at 500 plus caddy.
Sure.
But played number 1 on a beautiful Saturday afternoon with 3 guys that were on a 7-buddy trip. They had played number 2
just joined
in the morning. I just honestly got out of Jets had played back to back, so Saturday was an off day. Got my writing done on the plane, got in my rental car, drove to Pinehurst thinking I would see it, and if I had a chance to play, I would. Start talking with the guy in the shop. He goes to the computer. Oh, I got 152 on number 1. What do you think? Yeah, I think I'm going to go to my car and get my shoes and ball.
Yeah.
Balls.
One ball. You brought one ball.
Yes. So along with the rentals, they give you 6 Pro V1s with the Pinehurst logo on it. So that was pretty special.
Titleist rentals too.
Indeed, they were Titleist rentals. Yes, good job.
Did you play the Cradle?
No time, honestly, because being 2:00, it was dark at 7. So I did have dinner in the clubhouse, and the Payne Stewart statue's out front. All the flags are downstairs. Like, it's crazy. But I also got to play Sahalee this year, where VJ won the PGA. So, and the women's, I think, major was there last year, 2024. Great story there. Trevor Curl, who's the radio play-by-play guy for the Gold Eyes, is a caddy at Sahalee. He's from Seattle area.
Neat.
And Jets were there on an off day, not a day off, but an off day. So got my work done and he invited me to play, and just absolutely tremendous. The shoots on a few of the holes are just like, where would you like me to hit it?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of area for a high draw here with the overhanging evergreens. So so that was really special. But again, been super lucky. We played Stream Song, played Die Preserve, played TPC Scottsdale with Aaron Cockrell when he was still on the Canadian tour, and embarrassed to say what the guest rate was, because now in March it's 500. It was definitely
now.
I want to say it was like $50 as a tour player's guest. The guest rate was like $50 or something.
Oh wow!
Cost more for the caddy than the round itself.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And then also played the second course at where the Players is played, so at TPC. So it was pretty crazy.
You've been around.
Yeah.
Super lucky, and lucky enough, I'm on the Score Golf panel, so that's opened up a lot of the doors within Canada for sure. But again, after being at St. Charles where you guys were, I hope to one day play Pasatiempo, where Jim Urbina has done some of his great work there. Also, I'd love to be able to get there in the future. Not sure exactly when, but there's still a few bucket listers there. I mean,
absolutely.
That might lead into your next question there, Mike.
Yeah. What would be your ultimate dream course to play anywhere in the world?
Maybe it's on the logo on your shirt.
Yeah,
Right.
I have a friend from Altona who, Darren Lowen, he works on the grounds crew, volunteers on the grounds crew at Augusta. Has done it
at Augusta National
more than 10 times. One of the perks is a volunteer position, but you get to go back and play it. So he's played it like double-digit times.
Unbelievable.
Come on.
So, I mean, obviously it would probably be number one.
And you've been down there, but you haven't played it.
Yes. So I've been, thanks to Darren, I was able to get a Monday practice round pass at a reasonable rate, let's just say. No offense to the brokerages out there, but I think it was, I want to say 2016, got to Augusta on Monday. Now, the weather was not great. Early rain, then tornado. We got tornado delayed off the course once, and then I had only been at I'd walked around quite a bit of the course, but I had not got to Amen Corner. And after the hour and a half delay, when they let us back on the course, it was Amen Corner or the gift shop, and the gift shop happened to win that day, thinking I may not get back here. And literally, I got a few things for people in my life, and literally 2 steps out of the shop, the horn went again, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! This can't be happening." And that time, it was for good. You were tornado warninged off the course. But yeah, I mean, so that day, really cool. I got to walk around with, this is pre-majors, but I walked around with DJ, Gary Woodland, and Brooks Koepka, and then within the next 3 years, they won 7 majors. So just crazy. So I'm we're on the par 5 on the back before the water, where they're skipping shots on the par 3. I think that's 14, 15, that swing. DJ hits it, and the sound coming off his club is ridiculous. It's like when Vladdy takes batting practice. Like, the sound is just different from every other player out there. And then the next guy hits, and he's past DJ, and I'm like, who the heck just hit it past DJ? And there's a bunch of people with Koepka, like Seminole stuff, like from college.
Right.
And they're like, oh, that's Brooks. And I'm like, oh. And then the third guy hits, and it's past both of them. And I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's Gary Woodland. And I'm like, who is hitting it past DJ? Let alone 2 guys doing it. Yeah. So it was cool. I walked around with like 4 or 5 holes with them, and the crazy part, I mean, everyone who's been there says the same thing, that the undulation at Augusta is wild, especially on a hole like 18. Looks flat on TV, but like, it's super steep, and the property is just crazy. You park your car, you get on the property, you don't have a phone. You're allowed to bring a camera, but I didn't know that. But you can't bring your cell phone's got to be in the car. I didn't get my picture at the Butler cabin. Like, it was, I had like a long list of foibles included, but just a reminder that I want to get back there some other day. I mean, I don't think I'll ever get to play it, but who knows?
Is there like a media application kind of thing? And obviously they're on the, on the Monday after the tournament?
If you've covered it. So Tim Campbell good friend of mine, used to be at the Free Press, now retired. He's played it twice. And
With the media lottery?
Yes, he won the lottery 2 times. Jeez. And I want to say the first time he broke 80. I'm pretty sure he broke 80, and he's got the card framed, and it's just a pretty cool, phenomenal type of thing. But that's got to be number one. I mean, Pebble. It's Robbie Spears just rolled by. He's actually going on a Pebble trip coming up in September here. So, definitely happy for him. But got the wheels in motion, thinking, man, definitely on the list. But like I said, super grateful for the courses I've played. But always another great course ready to be found. And
absolutely,
Ireland is also, Ireland, Scotland would be a great kind of, bucket list kind of trip as well. But we'll see if we can ever get that in.
Absolutely, you can. Just go.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go. Money doesn't matter. Money is no object.
It's not that expensive.
Investment in yourself, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's mental health.
We're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Career low round.
My career low round is 74 at Southwood.
Ooh, very nice.
It's pretty good.
Unreal day. And honestly, it was just a couple 3 putts. It was one of those days where you're thinking, oh my, it wasn't a ton of birdies, but it was enough that you were like not in any of the fescue, not in any trouble. Greens are rolling perfect. Everything was, and I was playing with Clayton Drager that day too. It was a blue-white combo, and it was a Saturday. I want to say Saturday morning. Just a fabulous day. Lowest round this year, 79 at Breezy Bend, with Hall of Famer Garth Collings, Mike McKay, Sandy Patterson, and Mark Olson. So tremendous. That was
good company.
That was one of these things is not like the other, and I mean me. Just a tremendous day with those guys. Doc McKay set it up, and it was just super fun.
That's awesome. My wild card question here, and this could get a little lengthy too, as I throw in some sub questions.
Okay.
So you obviously travel when watching and covering the Winnipeg Jets. What would be the best arena to visit? And have you been in all the arenas, the NHL arenas?
Yes. 2 sports. I've got all of the NHL arenas, and I have all of the MLB parks.
Congrats.
Except now Sacramento I don't have. I would say Sacramento is not on
the temporary home of the
not
A's,
on the full.
I'm
not gonna. There's no asterisk beside my 30 right now, and I have 5 or 6 doubles like the previous stadium. So amazing. I love baseball as much as I love hockey. So that was a cool one to get done. And for hockey, tons of great arenas, honestly. I mean, right now for me, I think the place where I enjoy watching games the most on the road is Vegas. I mean, it's not a, traditionalist arena, but I find it to be a fun atmosphere, a really good vibe there. And obviously there's a great rivalry with the Jets in Vegas, and been fortunate to cover a lot of games in that building. And so I would say it's probably my favorite to go to right now. But I mean, honestly, all the cities are great. Detroit's got a great new rink. I mean, they're not the same team they were when we were watching them dominate in 90s and 2000s. And there too, when I covered the Moose, I got Peak, Red Wings, Datsuk, Zetterberg. Moose were in Grand Rapids. I went to 2 different playoff games at the Joe, which was crazy to watch. I want to say it was Nashville. Jordan Tutu was still playing. It was very cool to get into that building, but the new rink there is really great. And I mean, obviously Edmonton is, a great barn too. For the old school places, MSG is still great. Chicago United Center is still a great barn. It's not rocking the way it was when Jonathan Taves was playing there. Love Montreal on a Saturday night when the team is good, hard to beat. But honestly, there aren't any duds in the NHL, honestly.
And as a media member, I'm sure I know that at what do they call that place? Canada Life. They give you a good spread of food. Do they roll out the food and everything else for you guys?
Got to pay for the food, but they do have the food. Yes.
Oh, well,
it's changed. It's changed, Mike.
Jeez.
But yeah, great place to see a game. And honestly, Game 7 against St. Louis is probably one of the wildest games I've covered in 25 years of work. 2 6-on-5 goals in that span of time is wild.
Yeah.
Crazy thing. And
I was there.
You were there. Nicely done. So anyways, a cool moment for the city and the province, and fun to be able to chronicle those type of historical events for sure.
This is an open-ended question, and what are your feelings on the Jets going into this season?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly understand there's some folks, we live in a market where people are, sometimes aren't as exuberant as maybe you think they might be. I think it's part of the fabric of the community. Unless someone else from outside is talking about you, then you attack them. But I would say that, the Jets lost an important couple players for sure. Nikolai Ehlers would be the biggest departure, but any team that has Connor Hellebuck, the reigning Hart and Vezina Trophy winner, and has the defenseman in Josh Morrissey, who was fourth in Norris Trophy voting, has a forward in Kyle Connor who had 97 points, and Mark Scheifele was a point-a-game player again. As your core four, it's a good hockey team. I mean, they're a playoff team for sure. Can they win the Stanley Cup? I mean, that remains to be seen, but they have the pieces in place to be a legitimate contender. I mentioned Taves before. I mean, I think Jonathan Taves is going to be a great addition to this group. His leadership, again, there's questions about the body. Of course, we get it. He's coming back from something no one else has come back from. Also, having known the individual since he was 17 years old and on the verge of stardom, I don't think he'd come back unless he was going to be a contributor. I mean, he has a high standard for himself. I don't see him coming back to be a shadow of his former self. For me, and I think he'll be a great leader. He's great in the face-off circle, can score, very defensive-minded player. Scott Arniel, who is a member here at Niagara, did an exceptional job in first year as head coach of the Jets. And I would also say to the people that have concerns, those people had the same concerns last year. There were a few unknowns. They ended up being the best team in the regular season. I think this is the fourth year. I would say 3.5 of those years they've been fully committed to playing team defense. That's a magic wand in the NHL. They may not score as often, but they will defend. They've been the best defensive team the last 2 years. Now, part of that is goaltending, but a lot of that is the commitment to defense also. So, again, you don't necessarily need to win the President's Trophy this year, but it was important last year because you have to learn how to win before you can know that you can turn it up at a certain time. So, although it didn't translate into direct success in the playoffs in terms of winning 4 rounds, I think the Jets are in the top 3 in the Central, and then after that, it's kind of up to them. And Connor Hellebuck had 2 shutouts in the second round series against Dallas. Some folks will argue that Ottinger outplayed him, and that's okay. But for him, he needs to have his Sergei Bobrovsky kind of leveling up kind of moment in the playoffs in order for them to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, it's not all on one person, but as the Hart Trophy winner, there's a lot of responsibility on that person. And I think the Jets have a lot of depth at a lot of positions. They've got very good leaders. They've got guys who are motivated to win, and I expect them to have another strong season.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. I won't have any follow-up questions.
No
to
notes.
That. No, that's good. We're big Jets supporters.
Now, again, it's up to them, right? I mean, they got to the second round last year, but that wasn't the goal for them. So
Sure.
they want to have a parade here at some point, and that's up to them to do the things required to get that done.
Love to see it. We'd love to see it.
Like parades. Big parade guy.
Yeah.
Not a bingo guy, but I like
parades.
parades. Our flagship question of the Back Nine Lightning Round. Ken Wiebe, what is your favorite condiment? And it doesn't have to be something you're putting on a hot dog or hamburger.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a
Could
sauce.
be whatever it was. We've had salad dressings, pickled vegetables, or
Crispy onions.
anything really.
Okay, honey dill or honey mustard.
Okay.
So maybe 1A, 1B.
yeah.
How about that?
Yes.
Would you ever put them on the same thing? Honey dill and honey mustard on the same thing? That seems kind of ridiculous. To me, anyway.
I would have it in the same meal. I don't know that I have it on the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you got
That's a good question.
the honey mustard could be on the chicken burger, and the honey dill could be with the fries, maybe.
I like that. Okay.
Or substitute salad, whatever you're into.
Surprisingly, I don't think we've had honey dill
Okay.
answer as much. Like maybe a couple people, but you would
It's very
think
Manitoban.
with being in Manitoba, we would have honey dill a lot more. But good answer.
What's the most obscure answer you received on that one?
Oh, Who was
We had a recent one. I thought that was pretty.
Blake? What did Blake?
Not ranch. As long as someone said ranch. I mean, that's
No, that's not
obscure.
obscure.
We don't listen to our own show. We don't keep track of
super
this stuff.
stumper.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. You're never allowed back.
Relish was the most obscure. Yeah, I don't. The one guy, he made his own peppers.
Well, so I think Blake was talking about this sauce with a fat baby on it.
Kewpie,
something like that.
mayo,
Something like that, yeah.
and that was kind of obscure. It's like a Japanese mayo.
Okay.
That's right. It was. I told him I was going to buy some, and I haven't yet. But it's really just mayonnaise. But it's from Japan, so
it's special.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll look that up, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
We've got some notes to exchange.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I thought this was going to be easier than that, but we got some notes to exchange. All right. Well, that was the back nine lightning round for Bryce Malashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can call Bryce at 204-515-3446 or check him out in our link tree. Just go to our Facebook, Instagram, social medias. All the good stuff is there. Click on that bio and the link tree will come up, and you got Bryce. Phone number, fax number, email. Get a hold of him.
Yeah.
He likes to golf too.
Hopefully we can golf with him sometime.
It's never going to happen. I saw Curtis, his buddy, Curtis Markison.
Yeah. Well,
Seen
we
him
got to
quite a
golf
bit.
with Bryce and Curtis, and we'll set up a day.
Yeah, we'll
I got
get
to
it
give
done.
you my availability.
Yeah, Mike's a tough guy to nail down. But Ken, we appreciate this again. Thank you so much. We're going to enjoy probably another drink here, and I'm going to get some food because I am hungry.
Yeah.
This has been fantastic. We really appreciate it again. Thanks for coming on. And please do sign your article there from the Winnipeg Free Press talking about St. Charles.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, that's it. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Bye.
So long.
And you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot.